Hi, welcome to this lesson on C# Basics as part of the .NET Learn Wednesday series. In this tutorial, in this module, we'll be talking about repeating program steps using loops. Basically, say for example, you wake up every day. What happens is you have a set of routines you actually do, and these things go on repetitively for every day you wake up and you go to sleep. You have that such routine, and because C# is object oriented, you should be able to also do things repetitively without having to write long lines of code, basically in C#. For example, if you were to print out numbers from 1 to 1000, the general idea way that anyone would think of is to actually go ahead and do console the right line 1, 2, 3, and have 1000 lines of code. Rather than having to do this, C# gives us the ability to repeat program steps and take actions based off of those repetitions iteratively as they go from one to another. So let's actually get right into what how that looks in C#. So over here I see I have VS Code open, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create a new project. So that'll be .NET New Console. I'll output that into that 08, repeating program steps. To go ahead and create the project for me, and then I'll just open it up. Right, so what I'll do, I'll clean out this boilerplate code, and then I'll start writing my stuff. Remember the example I gave earlier where I want to print out 1 to 10. A good way I could do that is actually have what we call a for loop. So a for loop is a kind of iterative way of doing things in C#. So the way it works is pretty simple. I'll have a for, and then I'll have a counter, an iterator, okay, starting from 1, okay, and I going to 1000, and then I'll have I++. What does this mean? It's simple. Here I have the iterator starting at 1. That's why we have the I is equal to 1 over here. And then I less than equal to 1000, that is the termination point of this loop. So normally, as long as I is less than or equal to 1000, the loop will keep on going until it reaches the condition where I does not meet any of these conditions. And then this is just the counter, so it iterates by 1, so it increases by 1 at every step. So what I need to do here is to just do a console, the right line, and then just output high. I'll see how that works for us. So what I'll do is I'll do a .NET run on this. I'll run the 8th program. So let me just bring the terminal up and close over here. So it's compiling, and it will go ahead and build that for us in a bit. So you can see it printing out all the values for us from 1 up until 1000. Now if you normally were to write the code for this, you probably have 1000 lines of C# code, which really doesn't make a lot of logical sense to do when you could actually just have about 3 lines do this for you. And then it goes on and on until it reaches 1000, and then it terminates. So I'll just wait for all this to output. It's almost at 1000. Boom, and off we go. We can see it terminated exactly at 1000. Let's try a little bit of fun here. Let's say I was to do I less than 1000, it will stop at 999. So if I was to run this again, it will still go ahead and do the same thing, but rather than going actually to 1000, so we don't waste too much time, let me reduce this to 100. Okay, and let me run this. I'll just have to wait for it to start building and running. and we can see that this loop terminated at 99. So normally your loop could start from anywhere, wherever you want to start from, and then end at anywhere you want to make it terminate. And then also you could actually jump this step. So for example, instead of having to print out all the numbers iterated from 1 to 100, let's say we want to just print out the odd numbers in the range. So what will happen is we start from 1 and we step it up by 2. So what I'll do is I'll just do I plus 2 over here. It means it will go ahead and increase the stepping by 2. Oh, that is actually wrong. It should be I plus equals 2. Okay, so it increases itself by 2 on and on like that. Just wait for that. And then you can see it just printed out the odd numbers in that range for us. And pretty much that's it. So if I wanted to print out even numbers, I will just do it the same way. I will start this loop at 2, and then I'll have a less than or equal to 1000 over here, and then I'll just go ahead and run that. So it starts counting my values for me from 2, 4, 6, 8 up until 100. You can see that putting for us, stepping out by 2 at each point in time, and then that's it. So this is one way to do it. Another loop we could actually have is a for each loop, and this will come into play for us in 2 lessons to come, where we'll talk about collections, where we could iterate over an item in a collection in a list, and then we iterate over that. But basically this is the way it works. Let's say for example we have an array. I'll explain this in details when we get to that part. So I'll do my array. Oops. Good. Of course, I'll explain this in this when we get to the collections part, so do not worry about it right now. So I can do a for each, and this remember I talked about data types, implicit data types. This is an implicit data type. I'll do a var my string. I could give this any name I want in my string. So it will take all the items in this string and iterate over them one by one. Let's say this is applicable for scenarios where you have a collection of objects that you don't even know the length it has. If for each loop will come into play there to make it work just fine. So you could just iterate all through the material at once. So what I'll do a console the right line, and then I'll output my string over here. Alright, so let me actually go ahead and comment this out and run this program again. I would see that it printed out all the elements in that array for me, that collection of objects for me. So that is another way to do it. Another way repeating program steps could work is actually use what we call the do while loop, and it's pretty simple. You run a loop, you run something iteratively until a particular condition is met, or you can check the condition before running it. So I'll show us how both of them work hand in hand. So the first one is actually have the do while. So you run a particular number of steps. Let me say I over here. Okay, let me just start a value of I, and then over here I'll do an I plus plus. It means I'm increasing the value of I by 1, and then what I'll do is while this condition is true, so it's first run this condition, first run this statement, and check this condition that we have over here. So we'll put a condition here, so I could say I less than or equal to 10. So what you do for me is to print out 1 up until 10. Okay, 1 up until 10 is what it will print out for me. If I go ahead and run this now, I will see that it will print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up until 10 for me. and then you see it outputted right there. Actually, let me remove this over here, and so I want to use this to explain the concept of do while and then just having the while loop. So this, what I have is a do while loop, right? So it runs the statement before checking for the condition. A while loop, on the other hand, checks for the condition first before running. Okay, it checks for the condition first before running. I will see the difference between this one over here and this one. So this will print out all the values for me. Let me actually comment this out and run it again so we are sure of what we're running. Okay, so I have, is it running? I'm not sure it is. Let me try that again. Oh, I skipped something there. I actually cut this away instead of copying it. Sorry about that. Alright, I think things are back in scope now. Let me run that again. Okay, I see it's outputting 1 to 9 for me. So to run this loop and then go ahead and output this for me. So what happens is first print out this, it first print out the condition, run the statement, and then go ahead and run the rest of the code for me. And in a while loop, on the other hand, it will first check the conditions before it runs the code. So if I was to run it, yeah, even though the output might be the same, but what happens is it first checks the condition. So the difference between a do while loop and a while loop is that a do while loop might run at least once, but a while loop might never run at all if the condition is not met. So just note that, and these are some of the ways we actually iterate over program steps in C#. And that's it for this module. I'll see you up in the next module. Bye.